What's on my sitting away reminds me of yesterday. Sure, I'll find something to say that makes me wanna stay. We're on our way back to Rhode Island. What's up, coming? It's because we can't. I just wanna talk to you. I don't care if it's all with you. I just wanna talk to you. And what's on your mind? What's on mine? We're gonna play another new one. We thought you weren't. Thought you wouldn't be happy with just one new one, so we got another new one. Colin on the bass, Shelby on the vocals, Jake on the drums. I'm Zeb. This next one's called Believe It, It's Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. The jingle of punch a clover and away. Look, don't you ever one more for you. It's off our album Whispers and Echoes. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks Everybody Eats Yukon. Shout out Sean Alexander. Shout out Ado Bello. Stick around for the rest acts. This song is called Ornery. What is Is it me that is the problem, or does everyone feel the same? Painted black, I wanna see it all shut down. I cannot ever be satisfied with anyone. Has there ever been a time where you felt really happy? Don't you wish you could have that feeling? Definitely. Broke before the bother process without you. Perfect walk on sunny and existential thread. Oh, will it ever end? Ornery at everything I say. Is it me that is the problem, or does everyone feel the same? Painted black, I want to see it all shut down. Why can't I never be satisfied? I ran this one more time for y'all. Thanks, Everybody Eats. We love you. Woo! All seriousness, thanks Zoe for putting this on. Thanks Everybody Eats. Sign the petition. See you guys.
Hi guys, my name is Asha. I'm a recent graduate, class of 2020. Apologize for the appearance, it's quarantine. I hope you guys are all having a good night so far, and thank you for Zebvlon's performance. It's such a vibe for the beginning of summer. So I was asked to share my story with you guys, and from March, my story is basically I was asked to leave my hilltop apartment quite immediately, as we all were, but I really had nowhere else to stay. So luckily I had some friends that I could crash on their couch for a bit, and almost immediately after I was asked to leave the apartment, my university job contract was terminated, and I had no income. And as a recent grad with no income and really no sense of security and sleeping on a friend's couch, I would love to see more support from the administration and UConn, especially just for my case and a lot of my friends' cases, recent graduates, and all students. But it's definitely difficult coming from such a home safe setting at university for 4 years, and then kind of being thrown out into the world into a terrible job market and the situation that we're in with really no guidance or support. I would love to see UConn give maybe job resources and more options for students and really help us connect with the outside world more, so that we can feel a bit more secure and proud to say that we have come from UConn, and proud to say that, you know, our university really helped us during this difficult time. Because I feel like a lot of people forget that even though we're students, we are adults, we're young adults just like everyone else. And that's why I really love this campaign and what we're all doing, and I support all of us requesting the university to do more. And with that, that's my story. And next we have Christina, who is performing. Looking forward to seeing you perform. Thank you, guys.
Hey everyone, and thanks so much, Asha. Like, thank you for the reminder of why we're here, why we're doing this. And yeah, follow Everyone Eats on UConn. But UConn, these are words. Follow Everyone Eats but UConn on Instagram. Make sure you sign the petition, send emails. It matters. It does a lot more. Like, I know sometimes sending emails, it feels frustrating. But you know, together makes a difference. So today I'm gonna be dancing. I'm doing a piece to the song called Patience by Porsches. And this is kind of about the frustration that comes with trying to have patience. It's about unfinished business. So I hope it resonates with some of y'all. Let me just check it out. Make sure you can see. You're gonna have to hear my feet like clapping on the floor.
Cause I'm rooting for
just
you.
trying to make sure everyone can hear that.
And I'm rooting
Can I get a thumbs up in the chat?
And I'm rooting for.
I can't see the chat, so I'm gonna assume thumbs. Thank you. Okay. Hold up for a second. All right. Wish me luck. If I fall, mind your business.
Cause I'm rooting for you, and I'm rooting for me, and I'm rooting for that baby. Are you thinking of it? Cause I've been thinking of it, and I'm rooting for your patience. Power play for head to doors into the portal. I lay on the grass, put my head into your lap, and I scream all day, scream all night. I don't think anything is fine, but I want you to know that I've been thinking about you now, about you now. I'll stop now, I'll stop now, I'll stop now. And I'm rooting for me, and I'm rooting for that baby.
Oh my gosh.
Cause I'm rooting
I can't
for
breathe.
you.
But I hope that worked out. Hope you could hear. Woo! Thanks everyone. All these acts have been amazing. You guys inspire me. Shout out to Zoe. Well, make sure you follow everyone. Eats What You Got on Instagram. Sign the petition. Send the emails. Next up, we got Colebert. Excuse my heavy breathing.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for that, Christina. Shout out Zebvlon. That was a sick set. Recently, sometime last year, I think, they played in this very basement at Bev's. So I guess this is like the last Bev show right here. So I hope you enjoy. And yeah, of course, shout out Everyone Eats. I worked as a student worker at the Northwest Dining Hall for a little bit. And then I worked in an office in the research department. So I don't know what I would have done in college without that money. So I really feel for you guys. I graduated in December. And yeah, I remember someone saying, talking about the job market, how awful it is. So yeah, I definitely feel that as well. Anyways, I got 4 or 5 songs. I'll start with this one. It's called Time Off. All right, enjoy. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Justice. Let me think. Yeah, so my name's Colebert. This song is from my old band Humidity. It's called All You Want. I'm assuming the audio is okay. I really don't know. That's sick. Thank you, I appreciate it. Next song is called Changes. This one came out yesterday. Catch it on Bandcamp or wherever else you'd like to listen to it. What's on your mind? 'Cause I never seem to get it right. Sometimes you find it's best to leave it at the moment, but it's easy said than done. I never want you to go. I wanna make it a little stop. But I see it and never get far. Tell me what's on your mind. Can we see if we can changes, we try to hide it, but you won't find it. It's in time. Take the time that's best for me. Every time I try, fall again, just want to be. I need someone to rely. All I have, I came free. It's not your mind, can we see it, but you gotta believe it. Changes, patience, but this time you're not mine. We try to hide it, but you won't find it. Baby, you see it, got me voice forevermore. Instead I ask you to know the truth, but you stop and still I'm trying. Is he good on the floor yet? Time inside your mind. Time inside your mind. Time inside your mind. You never tell me what's on your mind. Oh, change. I know you need Puppy is almost in frame right now. Puppy can come say hi real quick. Yeah, Justice, come over here. There's a new puppy in the house. His name is Mav. Here he is. He's a little black lab. You can barely see me. It's like a shadow. Thank you, Mav. All right, I got 2 more. That's cool. What? She comes Okay, one more. Another shout out. This one goes to Justice for letting me use this guitar. Thanks. Shout out to him too. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Colebert, that was awesome. I loved it. I hope all you guys can hear me well. All right, cool. So, my name is Reg. I was a student worker at McMahon, and I just like to talk through my situation and then kind of broaden it and talk about how it's affecting all of us. So, I used to work 23 to 25 hours a week. I was making some pretty good money doing it, and the money went to support me and support my sister. So, since my sister's disabled, she's unable to work for herself, and some of the money that I make goes towards her transportation fees, getting to and from doctor's appointments, and also for her service dog that she has, a really cute German Shepherd named Jet. So I'm fortunate enough to be in a situation where I have enough money saved up where I can continue to pay for my sister and keep her going too. But it's not a sustainable lifestyle for if we can't work, we just don't get any money. So I know my situation is a little difficult for me, but I know a lot of people that are really struggling in a much worse situation. So I have friends that are sending money to families when they were working in the country, out of the country, and more than just us rely on this money. It's not just something that maybe only affects the students, and the students can be like, okay, I don't make money anymore. I'll go have else ask my family for help. A lot of the students that are working here are also supporting their families too. So I think UConn really needs to look outside the scope of just our school and understand that this is an issue affecting us and our families and the people that we love and support. So make sure you guys are following this campaign. Go to the Instagram page. It's popping. Make sure you guys are sending emails to people. I know it may seem like you're just spamming them, but you really got to send them. They'll see it. Even if they don't respond, they'll see it for sure. So thanks again, Colbert, for the music. That was awesome. And I hope you guys are ready for DJ Brock. He's going to get this place hyped. So let's hear it.
Hey everyone, I'm DJ Brock or Sean, whatever you want to call me. Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity. I love supporting UConn. I love supporting initiatives that help other people. So if you can, please follow Everybody Eats But UConn on Instagram. Shout out to Zoe for setting this up. Shout out to all my homies who came through to support. Shout out to my family. Shout out to the painting. Let's get it started.
Democracy, liberty, and justice were revolutionary code names that preceded the bubbling in the mother country's crotch. What does Webster say about soul? All I want is a good home and a wife and a children and some food to feed them every night. After all is said and done, build a new route to China if they'll have you. Who will survive in America? 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 Who will survive in America?
There is a message in what I've got to say to you. All right. Old King Cole was a merry old soul. A merry old soul was he. Old King Cole lost all his gold, and now he's crying to see. Don't put your trust in vanity, or it will let you down. Don't put your trust in vanity, or you'll be out of the ground. You make like Humpty, he sat upon a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all of his friends, money they spent, couldn't get Humpty together again. Don't put your trust in vanity, or only Jah can help you and set you free. Alright, living is your white country. How does your garden grow? With suburbs and cracker shells and low vanity, pure vanity, and it's spoiling humanity. Vanity,
Put my sneaker in the ass and my blunt on niggas. Shit, I'm from the hood where it's dark outside. Them late nights you can't walk outside without a gun. I send my bloodhounds park outside. We get the chopper, have the cops bring the chalk outside. Done, never chillin' cause the narcs outside. And they watchin' like hawk outside. Yeah, cause round here, these niggas dying younger than me. And I'm only 17, just as young as can be. In the struggle, my stomach touching, that hungry is me. Nigga, I bust you for a fucking world stuck in the streets. Just like you, a lot of niggas just like me. Just like you, a lot of niggas just like me. Just like you, hating and faking ass niggas. Get knocked right home like fake ass niggas. Back in the day, yeah, I used to ride metal bikes. Now we up to date, and I'm running around with metal lights. 9 milli, 40 cows, 3 angles, the red light. Lucas, and Uzi's to move your body left and right. Put that battery in his back. I'm the reason that he walk like that. Got talk like that. The spark on me, I'm a spark right back. Run up on him with a 40, he be all like that. We the boys in the hood, making noise in the hood. Niggas wanna play around, bring them toys in the hood. And he already spray around, leave his boy in the hood with his brains on the ground. And his boy moving love like bang, bang, bang. Boys ain't no good, that's what everybody say. Them boys misunderstood, respect this or expect them boys to come with hoods and get. They go for that boy ain't looking good.
There for you, I'll cook for you, work hard for you, I'll stay for you, make good love to you, do what you want me to do.
I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, keep making love on my mind. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, keep making love on my mind. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, keep making love on my mind. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. I'm in ecstasy, I get chilled up and down the spine. All alone at night, I harbor feelings on my pillow tight. Sometimes I even wanna be your girl. I wonder if you even notice me. Ooh, you gotta feel me. I wanna love you, girl. Just wanna be your girl. Wonder if you even notice me. You gotta feel me. And I wanna love you, girl. Just wanna be your girl. I wonder, you gotta feel me, yeah. I wanna love you, just wanna be your girl.
Everything I own, I let you go. I can't let you go. And if I let you go, she gon' rock the BBS song. I let you go. In the back of the road, I let you go. She gon' rock it. Everything I saw, I let you go. I can't let you go. And if I let you go, tell me how should it feel when I know what I know? And my female intuition telling me you. When I need answers, accusations, what you mean you gon' choke? Oh, you can't stay, you gotta go. Ain't no other chick spinning your dough. This is taking a toll, the way the story unfolds. Not the picture perfect movie, everyone wanna see. She gon' be rockin' to chill a cold, I let you go. In the house, off the cold, I let you go. She gon' take everything I own, I let you go. I can't let you go, and if I let you go, she gon' rock the CBS song, I let you go. In the back on the road, I let you go. She gon' promise everything I saw, I let you go. I can't let you go, damn if I let you go. Bring me a more, I've been doing this so long, but I've been damned if I say another chick on your arm. Won't you bring me a more? I've been doing this so long, but I've been damned if I say another chick on your arm. Tell me how should it feel when you made me belong? And you know you just touch you, that's what I get most. I don't want you, but I want it, and I can't let you go. Tonight you feel it to it like you gave it to me, come on. He's so unforgettable. She won't love that I know. I done put in a call, but no bring me along. You ain't never seen fire like the one I'm at. She be rocking you till the cold, I let you go. In the house, off the cold, I let you go. She gon' take everything I own, I let you go. I can't let you go, and if I let you go, she gon' rock the BBS song, I let you go. In the back of the road, I let you go. She gon' rock everything I told, I let you go.
Gotta get on the I'm on the clip of my line, live the chicken slipping the chocolate fall in the night time. Gotta get mine. Ain't taking the shot to the boss since I'm on the phone. Call up my nigga, send at home. Publishing the back 10 chrome. Got it we can hit, so bring your shit. Gotta get on the grind. I'm on the clip of my
slang and rocks. Oh shit, here comes a motherfucking cop. So I dash, I ducks and I hide behind a tree. So I'm making sure the motherfuckers don't see me. So I dash, I ducks and I hide behind a tree. Making sure the motherfuckers don't see me. Now my sack of rocks, hell yeah, I stuffed them. Police on my balls, I had the balls and yeah, it's still motherfucker. Now my game is tight, tight as fuck. It's my game, easy motherfucking eat up every fight, it's all the same. Now motherfucking eat up every fight, it's all the same. Now niggas might trip on how I stack my grip. I got to have it, bitch. For the love of this shit. Motherfucker. For the love of this shit. Motherfucker. They don't give me touch. Grind, grind, time, time, now the nine, 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 nine. Rip the man. Run of a hood, hood. Take when I'm making me grip, click, click. While I'm making flex. That's all I need. Put them in mud, humble. Nothing to lose, bitch. Yeah, next bit. Look at this, just love it, damn. Put it up and few rounds, gonna gang, gang. Grind, gonna money, feel this, running, thing grand. It's one of a damn wild. I take you up into a barrel of a gun. Put it up, you're done for the blood. I really get up on my mind. I'm in this good game, so people think we've been crawling up on the mission back in the days when niggas was selling was almost wanted to get paid. When it comes to selling, a nigga rich, step up on the mission for loving. You give up the cash, if that was your way, 'cause me and my nigga was hungry. Everything is dope, lit. You might just guess what this bitch. Yeah, next bit. I get none.
Till I'm done up, gotta blaze me gun up, run up and party scared, gotta make some big
Oh, this is gonna change my life for you. I wanna spend my life with you. Somewhere make love on the grass under the moon. No one can tell, don't be fight too. A forever journey, girl, be loving you. Drift in your eyes, it's inside of you. I got beat in the fence around the room. Love is too short, mine is for you.
All right, that was my set. Thank you so much for having me. Everybody go follow Everyone Eats But UConn on Instagram, please. Up next, we have Anna. She's a great performer. Thank you. Take care.
Hi, I'm Anna. That was an awesome set. I can't believe I have to go after it. But I want to thank Everyone Eats But UConn for putting this on. This was a really cool chance to show off a ton of UConn performers, but also just like raise awareness for a super important cause. I think of this super big issue that's happening, and make sure you follow and make sure their account, I think the app's in the chat, and also make sure you sign the petition. So, or letter, yes, letter, but okay. So now I'm gonna play and be quiet. The first song is on my Spotify or SoundCloud, and it's called Not Vacation. It's hard to be outside. It's probably why all the bugs tonight. I know I shouldn't kill them, but I do. It's hard to understand. I'm scared. What I got is that it. I feel so safe. This is vacation. I wanna live alone without you nagging me to stop. I need a babysitter for all these intrusive thoughts. I got I feel so soon. This isn't vacation. This isn't vacation. I got it. I feel so soon. Is this too honest? Should I stop? Okay, moving right into the next one. What is it? This card to read, defeat of until it comes. What alarmist am I? What has made me worship this body that I at 18 couldn't do? How do you have that human unexpected me once I do? This dog doesn't bite, just scratch, but I've known it to be like that. So I made up that it's safe and true. How do that human unexpected me once I do? Me once I do. This is a super new song, the next one, so bear with me. I don't know what's gotten into me lately. I've been acting so domestically. I let you call me baby. Wanna take a walk with me? I feel like a child in my 20s. I'm not trying to sound so obvious, but I know I sound so silly. So I just miss you silently. So I just miss you endlessly. In my head I am next to you and I'm listening. I'm just trying to sound sincere without stressing you. I wanna sit around and talk a while. I know we have so much to say, but tired of talking anyway. So cold. Touch your hands finally.
I'm doing the same thing, but it's not the same thing anymore. God, you're so far. So why do I see you in the smell of my heart? I don't know what's real to me. All I see when you're next to me, I felt real too. It's hard in the same degree to rewalk these places and you're not next to me. Like you're in the river, shoulder to shoulder, and I'm 17. I don't know what's real to me. All I see is true. All I know is when you're next to me, I felt you. Did you love me in hindsight? I don't know it's real.
Okay, I have one more song, and this is a song that I just put out like 2-ish days ago. So that's all. That's all I have to say about it.
All this food for God was here. It's got me further down the sky. It's a strange feeling when it won't stop until you let me.
someone else. Likes the boys in control, numbers not doing what they should. Since you've already helped yourself to master me, nothing's a problem until you leave. Okay, that was my set. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you follow Everyone Eats But UConn on Instagram, and I think Charles is on next to talk about what's up with everything that's happening at UConn involving student workers. Okay, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Anna. That was really awesome, and I love the guitar collection. I see the ovation on the side as well. In a time like this, we have the COVID-19 pandemic, and you know, at times like this is when we need to stand up for each other. And I mean, I'm really excited to see everyone out here tonight, because it's clear that the UConn admin is not choosing to stand with us. And just tonight, we've invited Stephanie Reitz, we've invited Tom Katsaleas, we've invited Nathan First, and they're choosing to not celebrate with students. And I think that's kind of telling of what's going on. I'm not going to stand by as those at the top get automatic pay raises and $700,000 retirement packages while student workers can't make it through because the university's not paying people. That's not right. And that's not something that I'm going to just let happen. If you haven't yet, please take the next minute to sign on to our letter or drop it in the chat, and also send it an email to administration. Yeah, sometimes it seems like when we're flooding the emails, I know Reg mentioned this earlier, it's not really effective, but it does get through. And that's actually, you know, one of the best ways for them to really feel the pressure, because the only thing we can do, we can't make these decisions, but what we can do is we can make those at the top feel the pressure so that they have to do what we want. And what we want is for people to be treated fairly. What we want is to make it through this pandemic. And what we want is for the UConn community to come together. So now's the time for all of us to stand up together. Thanks so much. I'm really excited to introduce DJ Pollo. It's gonna be a really fun set. I'm really excited. Let's go.
Hello guys, I'm DJ Pollo. Like you guys know me, just a little about me. I'm also a student worker at UConn. I work at the UConn School of Law, which actually was, I wanna say the first or the second campus to actually like close down. So it actually wasn't until the federal government gave me some assistance that I actually was able to pay my bills. So once I got the message from Everyone Eats But UConn, I was like, yeah, I'm on board. It sounds like something I can do. So if you guys hopefully you guys enjoy my set. So let's get started.
También estamos bien, ey, no te preocupes, estamos bien, ey, sobre los pies de 100, no hay nada malo, estamos bien, está todo bien, ey, todos los míos están bien, estamos bien, ey. El dinero me llueve, me da diablo que aguacero, en la cuenta un par de ceros, y empezamos desde cero, y eso que soy un grosero, que se joda, soy sincero, y si mañana me muero, Ya estoy acostumbrado a estar siempre en el cielo, en privado siempre vuelo, en el cuello tengo hielo, gasto y no me pelo, mucha puta y modelo estamos bien. Sobre los billetes de 100, no hay nada malo, estamos bien, está todo bien, todos los míos están bien, estamos bien, Hoy me levanté contento y me levanté feliz, aunque dicen por ahí que están hablando de mí. Joda que se joda, que se joda, joda que se joda, que se joda. Hoy me levanté contento y me levanté feliz, aunque dicen por ahí que están hablando de mí. Joda que se joda, que se joda, joda que se joda, que se joda, Hoy ando el galata, como grabando tirando el birrata, como narco comprando billetes, la Mercedes para recogiendo boquetes, vivo como soñé a los 17, el que no logra una, ¿por qué no le mata? Dime qué esperas tú, si alguien puede eres tú, aunque pa' casa no llega una luz, gracias a Dios porque tengo salud, la vida no tiene repetición, después que mami me dio la bendición, no te preocupes, estamos bien, como sin billetes de 100, pero tener no es malo, así que estamos bien, todos los míos están bien, estamos bien, no te preocupes, estamos bien.
DJ Pollo.
¿A quién le mientes en tu soledad? ¿Quieres verme otra vez? Por ti respondo lo que tú me das, lo que nadie sabe. Me decido por ti, te decides por mí. A la misma hora dan ganas de ti, te dan ganas de mí. A la misma hora te quiero sentir. Aquí me dan ganas de ti, te dan ganas de mí. A la misma hora. Que sí, 4 de la mañana, me mata estas ganas, vamos a llegar a mi cama. De todo el ignorado por ti, todo ha sido por ti. Mi cuerpo sin saber te llama. Y estas no son horas de llamar, pero es que el deseo siempre puede más. Podemos pelearnos y hasta alejarnos, pero cuando llega la hora, decido por ti, te decides por mí. A la misma hora dan ganas de ti, te dan ganas de mí. A la misma hora te quiero sentir. Aquí me dan ganas de ti, te dan ganas de mí. A la misma hora. Tratan y secan de la mata, quieren comprarte siempre con plata, pero ese tesoro tiene pirata, me voy a toda por ti. Tratan y secan de la mata, quieren comprarte siempre con plata, pero ese tesoro tiene pirata, yo doy la vida por ti, me decido por ti, te decides por mí. A la misma hora dan ganas de ti, te dan ganas de mí. A la misma hora te quiero sentir. Aquí me dan ganas de ti, te dan ganas de mí. A la misma hora. Taiko, colores.
Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que se acabe. Baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que se acabe. Mami, llega el código con el perreo sólido. Esta te la dedico pa' que se te lestre. Acércate al perímetro y rompe los termómetros. Si tú abres la vía, me gusta cómo lo haces. Cuando te atreves, tenía escondida esa actitud. Hey. Tu piquete me gusta, le da como es. Con la chispa al aire, boté y mujer. Grábate un video y que lo vea tu ex. ¿Y qué fue? Sube. Tu piquete me gusta, le da como es. Con la chispa al aire, boté y mujer. Grábate un video y que lo vi a tu ex y que fue. Me gusta como
baila porque quiero olvidar. Ponle reggaetón pa' que la vea sudar. Sexy, sube su videito a IG. Entra al top, no le hace falta el ID. Ya no deja que la hieran. Se va a buscar de sus amigas que la noche es pasajera. Para bailar usa ropa ligera. La atención llama y eso que ni se esmera. Su flow es natural. Le gusta inventar. Más conmigo que soy su preferido. Y ella la mía no la voy a cambiar. Su flow es natural. Le gusta inventar. Más conmigo que soy su preferido. Y ella la mía no la voy a cambiar.
baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que se acabe. Baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que
Cuando
se
pusieron su
acabe.
canción, se grabó pa' Insta, bailando y cantando sola en la pista. Y anda sola, suelta y soltera. Y taguea a sus amigas para romper la carretera. Y estamos el día y bien de fecha. Y dice que hoy se va a emborrachar. Y desde que se dejó la tipa no para janguear. Ya no quiere nada serio, lo que quiere es vacilar.
Como el DJ con reggaetón o va la bomba. Como sea, bebé, tú me matas. Sin censura, tu cuerpo oscura, perreando una locura. Tu figura, tu desnuda. Soy adicta a tu calentura. Tú eres una tortura. Tu figura, tu desnuda. Solo por un beso como aventura. Mami, hazlo por la cultura.
Y baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que se acabe. Y baila, baila, baila. Ponle música, baby, no le bajes. Baila, baila, baila. Tú lo que estás buscando que yo a ti te guaye.
Es que pa' morirla tú sabes que porque un hombre le paga un mal está dura y abusa. Se cansó de ser buena, ahora es ella quien los usa. Que porque un hombre le paga un mal, ya no se le ve sentimental. Dice que por otro más no llora, no. Pero si le ponen la canción, le da una depresión tonta. Llorando lo comienza a llamar, pero él la dejó en buzón. Será porque con otra está pidiendo que otra se puede amar.
Pero hice todo este llanto por nada. Ahora soy una chica mala. And now you kicking and screaming a big toddler. Don't try to get your friends to come holla. Holla, ayo, I used to lay low. I wasn't in the clubs, I was on my J.O. Until I realized you were epic fail. So don't tell your guys when I say a bail. Cause it's a new day, I'm in a new place. Getting some new days, sitting on a new face. Cause I know I'm the baddest bitch you ever really met. You searching for a better bitch.
Hey yo, tell him to back off. He wanna slack off. Ain't no more booty calls. You gotta jack off. It's me and Carol G. We let them racks talk. Don't run up on us cause they letting the max off.
Pero si ponen la canción, le da una depresión tonta. Llorando lo comienza a llamar, pero él la dejó en buzón. Será porque con otra está pidiendo que otra se puede amar. Un shot para la pena profunda y seguimos gastando la funda. Otro shot para la mente, pa' que el recuerdo no la atormente. Ya no le copia nada, su ex ya no vale nada. Sale para la disco y solo quiere perrear, pero se confunde cuando empieza a tomar. Y ya se cura con rumba y el amor para la tumba. Por los hombres le tumbo.
Antes tú no querías, ahora yo no quiero. No. Antes tú me pichabas, ahora yo picheo. Antes tú no querías, ahora yo no quiero. No, tranqui, yo perreo sola. Yo perreo sola. Yo perreo sola. Yo perreo sola.
Ok, ay, ay, ay.
que ningún baboso se le pegue. La disco se prende cuando ella llegue. A los hombres los tienes de hobby. Una malcria como Nairobi. Y tú la ves bebiendo de la botella. Los nenes y las nenas quieren con ella. Tiene más de 20, me enseñó la cédula. Ey, del amor es una incrédula. Ella está soltera antes que se pusiera de moda. No creen amor, le damos el foda. El DJ la pone y se la sabe toda. Se trepa en la mesa y que se joda. En el perreo no se quita. Fuma y se pone bellaquita. Se llama si te necesita. Pero por ahora está solita. Ella perrea sola. Ella perrea sola.
Perrea sola. Ella perrea sola. Sola.
Ella perrea sola. Ella perrea sola.
Perrea sola. Ella perrea sola.
Tiene una amiga problemática y otra que casi ni habla, pero las tres son una diabla. Y ahí se puso mini falta. Los Phillies en la Louis Vuitton los y me dice papi, estoy en dura como Nati. Borracha y loca, a ella no le importa. Vamos a perrear, la vida es corta. Ey. Y me dice papi, estoy en dura como Nati. Después de las 12 no se comporta. Vamos a perrear, la vida es corta.
Tú me pichabas, ahora yo picheo. Tú no querías, nunca viste una joya tan pura.
Esto es para que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura. Esto es para que quede lo que yo hago dura. Con altura. Demasiadas noches de travesura. Con altura. Vivo rápido y no tengo cura. Con altura. Y de joven para la sepultura. Con altura. Pongo rosas sobre el Panamera. Pongo palmas sobre la Guantanamera. Llevo camarones en la guantera. La hago pa' mi gente y lo hago a mi manera. Flores azules y quilates. Y si es mentira que me mate. Flores azules y quilates. Y si es mentira que me mate. Con altura. Con altura. Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura.
Esto es para que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura.
Acá en la altura están fuertes los vientos. Ponte el cinturón y coge asiento. A tu jeva y al ave por dentro. Yes. El dinero nunca pierde tiempo. No. Contra la pared. Tú no, si le tuve que comprar un trago porque las tenías con sed. Desde acá, qué rico se ve. No sé de qué, pero rompe el bajo otra vez.
Mira. Flores azules y quilates.
Rosalía.
Y si es mentira que me mate. Flores azules y quilates. Y si es mentira que me mate.
Con altura. Con altura.
Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura.
Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura. Siempre dura. Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura. De Rosalía.
Vamos.
Ella baja downtown si te picha atao. Mientras rebote ella dice que esa no. DJ que le pongo una de dos. Ella le gusta el reggaetón. Está suelta y que dejen la presión.
This is a remix. Como lo mueve esta muchachota, metiéndole el dembow a que se bota. Y yo poteo aquí con esta nota, la miro y rebotan. Como lo mueve esa muchachita, le mete el dembow y no se quita. Yo tengo el ritmo que la debilita. Ella tiene nalga y tetita.
El ambiente está como pa' prender un blon. Camino a Palomino, voy bajando de Bayamón. La baby en bikini, el bote con el musicón. Hoy vamos a gangalear por le dembow con reggaetón. Que esto es un party de gantel, de los maleantes. Pa' vete cabrón, ¿verdad? Tú no la haces. Y toda la baby, y todos los tigers. Que todo no pare. Fuck, tropicalito con coronita y limón. Empecé suavecito y termine con el patrón. El guayna me grita, diablo farro. Y yo aquí con una nota, guayando a tremendo bizcocho. Pues suéltate conmigo, mamá, que yo me voy a soltar, ven. Yo sé que te aloco, mamá. Vendame lo que quiero y mamá.
Yo tengo todo lo que un hombre necesita. No te confundas si me ves calladita. Por fuera sana, por dentro la brita. Chiquita con las pompis paraditas. Apaga los celulares, aquí no quiero fotos. Pa' que este perreo se quede entre nosotros. Y dime si te gusta presión, perréame sin condición. Y dime si te gusta presión, perréame, porque como rebota.
Como lo mueve esa muchachota, metiéndole el dembow a que se bota. Y yo poteo aquí con esta nota, la miro y rebotan, 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 rebotan. Como lo mueve esa muchachita, le mete el dembow y no se quita. Yo tengo el ritmo que la debilita. Ella tiene nalga y tetita, nalga y tetita. Tú ya tienes 18, entonces estás en ley. Quiero acampar en tu montaña de calle y que libraste a los 16. Ok, andamos en el dembow con el funky Charlie Way. Ey, bájale mami como 7500. Me tienes en estado de aborrecimiento. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Que te preparen que lo que viene es pa' que le den duro. Mamita, yo sé que tú no te me vas a quitar duro. Lo que me gusta es que tú te dejas llevar duro. Todos los weekends ella sale a vacilar duro. Mi gata no para janguear porque ella le gusta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Le encanta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Ella le gusta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Le encanta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Ella prende la turbina, no discrimina, no se pierde en un país de marquesina, se acicala hasta pa' la esquina, luce también que hasta la sombra le combina, asesina, me domina, anda en carro, motora y limusina, llena su tanque de adrenalina, cuando escucha reggaetón en la cocina, ella le gusta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Le encanta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Ella le gusta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Le encanta la gasolina.
Dame más
gasolina. Aquí yo soy los mejores, no te me ahores. En la pista nos llaman los matadores. Pasa que cualquiera se enamore cuando bailas al ritmo de los tambores. Esto va para las gatas de estos colores, para las mayores, para las menores, para las que son más zorras que los cazadores, para las mujeres que no pagan sus motores. Tenemos tú y yo algo pendiente, tú me debes algo y lo sabes. Conmigo ella se pierde, no le rinde cuentas a nadie. Tenemos tú y yo algo pendiente, tú me debes algo y lo sabes. Conmigo ella se pierde, no le rinde cuentas a nadie. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Súmale mambo pa' que mi gata prenda los motores. Que se prepare que lo que viene es pa' que le dé duro. Mamita, yo sé que tú no te me vas a quitar duro. Lo que me gusta es que tú te dejas llevar duro. Todos los weekends ella sale a vacilar duro. Mi gata no para de janguear porque ella le gusta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Le encanta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Ella le gusta la gasolina.
Dame más gasolina.
Gané el mundial joven como Pelé. Invicto me voy, ya tú sabes cómo andamos hoy.
Damas y caballeros, Vin dice:
La pámpara prendía. Fuck you. Tú no entiendes. 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 Coronao, 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 coronao.
No, Cora, tú sabes cuántos roles a mí me dan la hora. Yo te llamo ahora, que tengo un cel para los cueros y otro para la señora. Que Cora, no te diste cuenta. Tengo 3 contables por una sola cuenta. Vestido negro en toda la fiesta. Yo fuera Michael Jackson si esto fuera los 80. Los diamantes que yo tengo son las lámparas. Tengo un feeling más prendido que la pámpara. Los billetes verdes, flor la máscara. Si te falta salsa, soy la tártara. Se me pegan todas. El camino a mi cama, la alfombra roja. Me robé a tu baby, desaloja. Yo le di en Hawái, gritaba aloha.
Coronao, 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 nao, coronao, 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 nao, coronao, 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 nao, coronao, nao, coronao, nao, coronao, 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 nao, coronao, 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 nao, coronao, coronao, coronao.
Yo soy un extraterrestre, el mejor desde Santo Domingo. Del planeta Marte me mandaron para el domingo. En el 2020 cante bingo, porque coroné con 10 millones que le quitamos a los gringos. La pamparan pampa el abusador. Lo único que me falta en el garaje es un platillo volador. Todo lo que se mete en mi camino se derriba. A mí me disparan como un cohete, voy para arriba.
Fuck you. Tú no entiendes. Fuck you. Tú no entiendes. Fuck you. Tú no entiendes. Fuck you. Tú no entiendes.
Coronao, coronao, como narcotraficante. Para las mujeres dulces, para los tigres picantes. Y a mí no me preguntes, yo no tengo que explicarte. Al que me falta mete, lo pasan al instante. Andamos ruleta rusa en la casa fantasma. Llámala con él, dile que ya llegó la vaina. A los detectores le apagamos la alarma. Si voy para la disco, tienen que pasar las armas, las maletas y los bultos. Especha, le dicho. A los demás los trato como si fuera un dicho. Ustedes inquilinos, yo dueño de edificio. Nosotros andamos en cuarto por cuero, no más juicio. Tú eres una manogra y si nada logra es porque te consume la maldita demagogia. La cartera Louis Vuitton y la mochila Goya. El huelebicho está escuchando la paranoia.
Damos ruleta en una camioneta, recogimos la vaina que llegó la avioneta. Damos ruleta en una camioneta, recogimos la vaina que llegó la avioneta.
Coronao, 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 nao, coronao, 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 nao, coronao, 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 nao, coronao, 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 nao,
Coronao, coronao, se lo meto por del lado. Yeah, she fucking for the clout, bust a nut in her mouth, then I'm out, out, out. 50 hoes down south, now don't eat out. Malibu beach house, no doozy, no pussy. She bad and she bougie. I love me a groupie, I swam in a Gucci. In her mouth, in her mouth, in her mouth, mouth, mouth. Bust a nut one time, then I'm out, 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 out. AK-47 make a nigga do bachata. Eating quesadilla, fucking on his baby mama. Ran out of drugs, flew the plug out from Uganda. Street nigga, I bust his head for $40. Street nigga, I fuck a bitch in no condom. Hot boy, yeah, I'm real hot like a sauna. Coronao, 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 now, now, coronao, 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 now, now,
coronao, 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 now, coronao, 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 now, coronao, 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 now, coronao.
Ya lo que quiere que la ponga cuando
Yo le quiero dar en 4K. Yo le quiero dar en 4K. Yo le quiero dar en 4K. Yo le quiero dar en 4K.
estoy cobrando por party más de 70K. Tienes que beberte, mami, tú te chinas acá. Si tu mujer se pasa conmigo, la vamos acá por este loco. Las mujeres botan más agua que la K. Llegaron los people, recogen los chihuahuas. Yo mandé para el Cristo Redentor en una guagua. Cada vez que freno, demasiado piquete, manín, se me fue los frenos. Las mujeres aquí no son televisores, pero la ponemos en 4K. Las mujeres aquí no son televisores, pero la ponemos en 4K.
Gil, no te voy a mentir. Pide lo que sea, te lo voy a conseguir. Llama Gil, no te voy a mentir. Que tú quieras hacerte todo y yo en tu cuerpo voy a mentir. Estos 4 calles que yo rompo. Dime lo que quieres que yo te lo compro. Ese novio tuyo tiene cara de tonto. Y si tú quieres yo la monto y se la desmonto. Oh, che, el dinero no falte, bebé. Tú no ves que yo la tengo en play como es. Si tú quieres cuarto yo no me muevo. Pégate para la pared que quiero verte como es. Tú eres loca, tú eres una crisis. Abriste las patas con un chavita así. Oh my God. Bienvenida al mundo fácil. Gracias a Dios mío porque coronó una lazi.
Yo le quiero dar en 4K. Yo le quiero dar en 4K.
En diamantes son 200K, no tuve que insistirle, es una bella casa, el novio se me pega, aparte tengo una calle abajo con la amiga y las puse en 8K, como no me llegan pues me tiran, igual que la mujer tuya que también me tira, si tigre se ve de mentira.
Mira vos, mira vos, mira vos, yo no tengo gripe, yo lo que tengo es mira vos, mira vos. llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Mazucamba, mazucamba, llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Mazucamba, mazucamba, llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Mazucamba, mazucamba, llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. El hombre más exitoso del país, con demagogo no hago trato. Si tú tienes lo que yo quiero, agarra y te contrato. Cristóbal, diseñador, modelo, arreglo y productor. Mi competencia se mudó para el Cristo Redentor. Chipeta 2020, apartamento 2020. Lo único que me falta es tener un hijo 2020. A mí me tiran ciego, sordo, mudo y desmayado. Hay uno que me tiene de mí, todo lo coge fiao. Pidiendo y pidiendo y los réditos subiendo. Oh, ya, oh, ya. Pidiendo y pidiendo y los réditos subiendo. Oh, ya, oh, ya. Pidiendo y pidiendo y los réditos subiendo. Oh, ya, oh, ya. Pidiendo y pidiendo y los réditos subiendo. Oh, ya, oh, ya. Mira, wow. Mira, wow. Mira, wow. Yo no tengo gripe, yo lo que tengo es paz. Mira, wow. Mira, wow. Mira, wow. Yo no tengo gripe, yo lo que tengo es paz. No, mazucamba, pamba, mazucamba. Llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Mazucamba, mazucamba. Llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Mazucamba, llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Mazucamba, llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. Monto los aparatos por American Airlines. Tengo un pana que lo recibe y me espera online. Están en Nueva York, ¿tú quieres buscarlo? Te lo voy a pasar barato, dame 20 palos. Soy un negociante más duro que Rockefeller. Y meto los goles de cancha, cancha como Pele. ¿Quieres que te lo pele? Dame los papeles. Cuando mueva la cadera no diga que duele. Llegan los cocobongos, los morenos del Congo. Donde quiera que llegamos de una vez la pongo la cabeza de JC. Y el talento de Nax. Pedir atrás de mí, pero no quiero Nax. Oh, mazucamba, mazucamba. Llegan los tigres, la verdadera ganga. 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 Ustedes andan Chucky, con Chucky nada más. Ando con Chucky.
Báilame como si fuera la última vez y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taqui, 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 rumba. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Hay music, hay flows. Báilame como si fuera la última vez y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taqui, 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 taqui. Quieres un besito o un aquí, booty explota como Nagasaki. Prende los motores Kawasaki, en la disco está llena y llegaron los Anonaki. No le baje, el booty sobresale de tu traje. No trajo panticito pa' que el nene no trabaje. Es que yo me sé lo que ella cree que ya se sabe. Cuenta que no quiere pero me tiene espionaje. El booty sobresale de tu traje. No trajo panticito pa' que el nene no trabaje. Es que yo me sé lo que ella cree que ya se sabe. Cuenta que no quiere pero me tiene espionaje. Báilame como si fuera la última vez y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taqui, 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 rumba. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Hay music, hay flows.
Boy, he say he wanna touch it and tease it and squeeze it. When my piggyback is hungry, my nigga, you need to feed it. If the text ain't freaky, I don't wanna read it. And just to let you know, this Punani is undefeated. Ay, he said he really wanna see me more. I said we should have a date where at the Lamborghini store. I'm kinda scary, hard to read, I'm like a Ouija board, but I'm a boss bitch. Who you gonna leave me for? Got no class, you bitches is broke still. I be talking cash shit while I'm popping my gold grill. I'm a whole rich bitch and I work like I'm broke still. The love be so fake, but the hate be so real. El booty sobresale de mi traje, no traje panticito pa' que el nene no trabaje. Es que yo me sé lo que tú crees que tú no sabes. Dice que no quiere, pero se quiere comerle el equipaje.
Báilame como si fuera la última vez y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taqui, 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 rumba. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
Careful when you come through my way. My body already know how to play. Work it, keep it tight every day. And I know you need a taste. Now, ooh, falling in love. Give a little ooh, get it well done. Dance on my ooh, make a girl wanna run. We keep moving till the sun come up again. I am the party, it's a fiesta. Blow out your candles, have a siesta. We can try, pero no one can stop me. What my talkie wants, yeah, my talkie gets on. Báilame como si fuera la última vez. Y enséñame ese pasito que no sé. Un besito bien suavecito, bebé. Taki, rumba.
Mi mujer me estaba llamando, pero yo no contesté. Baby, porque yo estaba contigo perreando y le dije, Dios mío, perdóname, no sé por qué yo le fallé. Yo estaba en la disco perreando y con ella me regué. Yo estaba en la disco perreando.
De la forma en que me miraba, podía notar que ella tenía lo que la disco buscaba. Quería que me bailara y el DJ que la música nunca me la bajara. Y se está prendida en fuego, que no se enamore, ella está para el juego. Anda sola, nunca le baja su ego. Me provoca y facilito me le pego. Y es que se está prendida en fuego, que no se enamore, ella está para el juego. Anda sola, nunca le baja su ego. Me provoca y facilito me le pego. Y es que
yo tengo un problema de alcohol, yo no sé por qué soy así. Para mí que el doctor estaba bebiendo el día que yo nací. Baby, pon la mano en el suelo y huélgate con el pelo. Tu cuerpo es puro veneno, bebé, tú me llevas al cielo. Tú me dejaste caer, pero ella me levantó. Ella me busca mujer, pero ella me levantó. Y yo me emborraché y de ti me olvidé. Y tú peleas una y otra vez, y ya me cansé.
Mi mujer me estaba llamando, pero yo no contesté. Ella estaba contigo peleando y de ella me olvidé. Dios mío, perdóname, no sé por qué yo le fallé. Yo estaba en la disco peleando
y con ella me regué.
Yo estaba en la disco peleando.
Yo estaba en la disco peleando.
4 abrazos y un café. Apenas me desperté y al mirarte recordé que ya todo lo encontré en tu mano, en mi mano. De todo escapamos juntos, ver el sol caer. Vamos pa' la playa, pa' curarte el alma. Cierra la pantalla, abre la medalla. Todo en el Caribe, viendo tu cintura. Tú le coqueteas, tú eres un cabullo. Me gusta lento y contento. Cada al viento, lento y contento. Cada al viento.
Y aprovecha que el sol está caliente y vamos a disfrutar el ambiente. Vamos a meternos para el agua para que vea qué rico se siente. Y vamos a tropical por toda la costa chinchorreal. De chinchorro a chinchorro paramos a darnos una medalla bien fría para bajar la sequía. Un poco de Bob Marley, unos tragos de sangría para que te suelte poco a poquito, porque para vacilar no hay que salir de Puerto Rico. Y dale lento, dale un shot de coquito. Y como dice Ponzi, vamos a darle despacito pa' que te suelte poco a poquito, porque pa' vacilar no hay que salir de Puerto Rico.
Vamos pa' la playa, pa' curarte el alma. Cierra la pantalla, abre la medalla. Todo en el Caribe, viendo tu cintura.
DJ Pollo.
Okay, guys, that's my set. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot who's next. I think it's Emmy. It's Emmy. There we go. Yes. Okay. I remembered.
All right, thank you, DJ Pollo, for that energy. Unreal. That was awesome. So hi, my name is Emmy. I'm a rising junior. I'm a WIGS major with minors in human rights and social justice organizing. I just wanted to talk about my experience as a student worker at UConn. So I have worked for the past 2 semesters at the student union as an event monitor. And I actually work year-round for UConn. So the day that spring semester ends until move-in weekend of the fall semester, I work as a 1 summer assistant for Res Life. And UConn's conferences, camps, athletic programs, and summer school would not be able to function without the employment of the 1 summer staff, which is all student workers. Unfortunately, I received an emergency financial grant from the university, which has helped me in covering medical costs, such as medication and therapy, but that can only go so far. And I have rent starting in August, and I was really relying on the semesters and definitely the summer's income as a full-time employee to make that a reality, living in my apartment. So the grant I received does not even come close to how much I would be making for the remainder of the spring semester and the entire summer as a full-time employee. So I just want to say I support this campaign because the student body is just simply what keeps UConn running. And if this happened a year ago, I wouldn't have anywhere to stay. I would have no money to pay for medication or food. And the university really needs to support the loyal student employees who have planned their lives around the insurance of their verified positions. So that's what I have to say about that. Definitely support and follow and send the emails, do everything they're saying, because it really can help. Power in numbers. So I just wanted to thank you all for listening and for joining this call. And next up, we have Homemade.
They are turning their camera on.
Hello.
Sorry, everyone. Yes, here they are.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, sweet. All right, thank you so much, Emmy. I'm really happy to be here and supporting this cause. I'm also a student worker. I've worked for the past 2 years at North Dining Hall, and I've had nothing but great experiences there. So I do feel for the cause. Before I get started, I just want to say shout out to my bandmates who couldn't be here with me today, but Bang Lamb, Austin Frandino, John Lombardo, and Garrett Daly. I know you guys are playing along with me wherever you guys are. So I'm Yates Bramble, and I'm the lead singer of the band Homemade, and this first song is our first single that we just released, and it's out everywhere, so check it out. It's called Ormond Beach.
She said I'll always love you most, but then she packed up for the coast. Now I'm left driving alone past the place that you come, where I used to pick you up and where you last let me down. You said it's only for a while, but I saw through her painted smile that she'd be gone for good, and I'd be left all alone, trying to move on, but I just can't let you
license plate from the state that made you say goodbye to me without thinking what would happen if I just leave. And now I'm stuck on the freeway heading to Ormond Beach. I know I failed, but I try my best at least. She said the distance was getting tough. It's best that we just take a break. But I know that he's the man and he's lying next to her. I thought I knew you best, but I guess he knows you more. Now I can see the license plate from the state that made you say goodbye to me without thinking what would happen if I just leave. Now I'm stuck on the freeway heading to Ormond Beach. I know I failed, but I tried my best. Thank you guys so much. Gotta have some water. So that was our first single. It was called Ormond Beach. This next song is coming out on June 5th, so mark your calendars, everyone. It's going to be on all platforms, and you can follow us at homemade.band on Instagram if you want to hear more from us. This one's called Stranded. darling. I wait for 8 hours frozen, feeling frozen, but only feeling the cold is better than feeling nothing at all. Now the lights catch the sky, and all the clouds seem to dissipate as you begin to alleviate all the pain I held inside for so long, for so long. It's been too long and I forgot how good it was to be mutually falling in love. So if we're falling faster now, hold on till we hit the ground. Don't let me down. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm gonna do one more song for you guys tonight. This one's a cover by one of my favorite bands, Hippocampus. This song is called Bambi. Wasn't born to fight, maybe just a little bit, enough to make me sick of it. I can read between the lines. I want to run from everything, but my legs won't work, it's clear to me. I haven't been much myself, and I feel like my friends being put through this hell feeling. I think that I'm living could call a living so brash and unforgiving, moved by the vibe, bringing to within myself, serving myself. The timing's hard, I know it's never right. It's hard to see this time of night. It's hard to see the reasons why I fucked it up again. Still I breathe a sigh. It doesn't seem so lucky now. Maybe I can figure out why I haven't been much myself, and I feel like my friends being put through this hell feeling. I think that I'm living, if you could call a living, so brash and unforgiving, ruled by the vibe, bringing to within myself, serving myself. Wait and see, I'll be making my own way now. I'll be making my own way now to where I've got to be. Wait and see, I'll be making my own way now. I'll be making my own way now to where I've got to be. Wait and see, I'll be making my own way now. I'll be making my own way now to where I've got to be. I'll be making my own way now. I'll be making my own way now. Where I've got to be. Thank you so much. I'm Yates Bramble, lead singer of Homemade. We're gonna send it back to Zoe, but thank you guys so much for coming out and watching us.
We're actually going to send it to Kylie, but this is the closer. Thank y'all so much. This has been beautiful. I love this so incredibly much. So let's send it to Kylie for the finishing up.
Yeah, thank you all so much for coming to this. I never expected that when I told a couple of my friends about what was happening dying services that it would turn into this. So thank you all so much for all of this. Sign the letter. And I just want to pass over to Robin to share their story.
All right. Hi, sorry about that. My computer started dying. So I'm Robin. Long story short, I started the petition that ended up getting a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And that thought process was based on like what had been happening with dining services. I've worked for Whitney Dining Hall specifically for 2.5 years. And my student manager had like told everyone, hey, we don't really know what's going on, but they're not gonna pay us. And I saw how he was trying to work and do something about it. And I thought, well, I'm one person, but I might be able to start something that can help in the long run. Like even though I graduated, I thought like might as well at least try. And it got so much bigger than I thought it was going to. Like I'm so genuinely happy to see everyone here today. I'm also genuinely really angry to see the lack of response from UConn. When we had the office hours, that's what it was. It was an online office hours with Tomcat. I spoke about what was going on my end. Like I'm a student who is disabled, and I'll be moving up to New York in the fall for grad school. Really excited I got into Fashion Institute of Technology. And I'm going for illustration, which I'm super excited about. But I was explaining to Tomcat that one of the things that I've been saving up for the past couple of years. Thank you. But one of the things that I've been saving up for is a wheelchair and a service dog, because I'm, again, going to be in New York. And he told me that I should look into the Student First Fund in response, because that's what that's there for, is what he told me. And I contacted the Student First Fund almost a month ago and have not heard anything back. So they keep pushing this Student First Fund that's not actually giving students anything. It may, on my end at least, be partially due to the fact that a wheelchair and a service dog cost a lot, but again, that's something I was saving up for, and without the wages from UConn, that had to be put on hold. But they insist on pushing this Student First Fund as an alternative, and we're not receiving any sort of aid from Student First, and we're not receiving anything in response. So I think it's adding insult to injury, in my opinion, that they're pushing this alternative that they've come up with that also isn't getting anything done. Like for a lot of students, myself included, these jobs were how we paid our bills. These jobs were, if it weren't for these jobs, I know lots of us wouldn't be able to eat. And in some cases, thankfully, I lived in dorming. I lived in the dorms, but for other students, that money from their paychecks was making sure that they had a place to live. Had this happened a year ago, I wouldn't. Had this happened a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to pay to live on campus, and I wouldn't have been able to finish my degree. So, as much as UConn claims to be helping and caring about their students, it's sad to see that it takes something big to show that they don't really care. I could go on and on for hours about how little UConn actually cares about their students, but that's a rant for another day. In closing on my end, again, I'm so happy that this is. Oh, speak on it. I can talk for hours. I lived in gender inclusive housing for all 4 years of UConn life, and Res Life hates gender inclusive. They've tried to shut us down for the 7 years that we've been open. They moved us to a different building despite the fact that we expressed discomfort and literally not feeling safe in different areas of campus. Originally, we were located in Whitney, which had the dining hall right there. And they allegedly moved us because Whitney is not accessible and not ADA compliant, which would be a valid reason to move us if they hadn't moved us to Brock, an alumni of all places. The only thing accessible about Brock is the fact that there is an elevator. They put us as far away from the bus stop as possible. They put us as far away from literally everything on campus as possible. And instead of putting us in Watson, for example, where humanities house is, they put us with the honor students. This is not me trying to say, oh, all honor students are bad, blah, blah, blah. Not at all what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say with that specifically is humanities, like, they at least have students that care. We've had literal hate crimes happen being in the same building with honor students. We had hate crimes happening in Whitney. And Whitney only had one floor above us that was not gender inclusive. In Brock, we have 4 other floors above us that are not gender inclusive. We've had fall semester alone, the police were called 3 or 4 times, I believe, for literal hate crimes. We brought up the fact originally when the decision was made for gender inclusive to be moved, that was a decision that Res Life made. They didn't consult us. They had us meet with them afterwards as a sort of, we're going to listen to your concerns, but then they were all dismissed. We've had meetings every semester since. At every single meeting that we've had, I have been yelled at by Pam, who is, I believe she's in charge of Res Life. We've been told that by Amy Krim, who is in charge of gender inclusive, that we cannot choose whether our roommate is messy or homophobic. When we brought up concerns about rooming with people that are not LGBT plus friendly, that is not A, not comparable, and B, not at all true. You can choose whether or not your roommate is messy. So in my opinion, you should also be able to choose whether or not you have a homophobic roommate. We also, during one of those meetings, brought up the fact that we have a lot of students, myself included, that are autistic. Yeah, messy versus homophobic, not at all the same thing. But we have a lot of students in gender inclusive that are autistic, and going to South Dining Hall or McMahon is sensory hell for them, myself included. I can't sit in South without having some sort of autistic shutdown or dissociating. We have students that have mobility issues, again, myself included. In order to get to South or McMahon, you have to walk up or down a hill. And then to get back to Brock, you have to walk up or down a hill again. That's not easy for me to do. That's something that makes sense for able-bodied people, but I'm not able-bodied. We reported everything to OIE with proposed solutions. One of our proposed solutions was having multiple areas on campus be gender inclusive. That way, students who felt comfortable staying in Whitney would be capable of staying in Whitney, and then students who had other needs, like disability needs, they could be put in a place that was still gender inclusive, but was also accessible. And we were shot down immediately because we can't fill up all the space, which is untrue. We were over capacity this semester. We were over capacity last semester. the reason they say that we can't fill all the space is because Res Life doesn't advertise us. They expect us to do the advertising. They expect us to do the education portion. And that's a lot to put on any individual student, but it's also a lot to put on a person from a marginalized group. Like, it's not my job to sit down and explain to cisgender and heterosexual people what a trans person is, what the difference between bisexual and pansexual is. That's not my job. I personally don't mind sitting down with people and telling them, explaining to them what the difference is, or answering questions for them. That's something that I enjoy doing, but I don't always have the mental energy to do that. And I know a lot of students within gender inclusive that either don't have the energy or just don't want to, and they shouldn't have to. Like, I shouldn't have to sit down and explain my existence to another human being. But unfortunately, we live in a society, unfortunately. And that's the case. I just wish that UConn would stop pretending like it's so inclusive and pretending like they care, when it would be so much easier for them to just say, we hate this particular group, than to try and jump through all the hoops that they're trying to jump through. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, no problem. I could talk about gender inclusive for hours. The community itself is amazing, and I would not change it. I would not change my experience for anything else in the world. I loved living in gender inclusive. I loved every single person I met. My issue was always Res Life and the fact that they didn't care. But that being said, if you ever get a chance to live in gender inclusive, I highly recommend it, because the community is amazing. Everyone there becomes like family. And honestly, if people not in the community want to live there, that'll show them that there's absolutely more people that want to be part of gender inclusive and will help normalize it. But that's that's another topic. Oh, thanks, y'all. Absolutely, I definitely agree. All right.
Robin,
I'm gonna throw it back to Zoe because I could sit here and talk forever.
Good. No,
Thank you for having me, though.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think you really kicked off such a strong movement, and we're so thankful for you for creating the petition and doing all this work, because that's the whole situation, is that like we all have to support each other, and like Robin supported people and everyone eats is trying to support all the student workers, and student workers are supporting us, and musicians are supporting everyone, and like this is such a beautiful night, because like our community is incredible, and all we have to do is just continue supporting each other, whether it's summer or after. I don't know, we just have to continue supporting each other. So thank y'all. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, every musician. Thank you, everyone who danced and supported us, because this would not be this without you, and UConn would not be UConn without all of you. So thank you guys so much. This is the end of the night, end of the festival. Clap. We're done. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night. Stay healthy and safe. We love you.
This is applause and sign language.
Oh, yeah. Thank you all so much. We love you all so much. And we're always here for you, every single one of you, forever. Good night, everyone. Keep up with us. Yes, in the letter, the Tomcat. Tell them why this community is wonderful. Please. Love y'all so much. Have a wonderful night.